Hey man, welcome back. We black and we're your best friends. And we have a special guest today, Miss Ivory Shields. So stay tuned.
Hello, good evening on this Monday night edition of Monday Night Raw with the Black Super Friends. Tonight, I am joined by a special guest you guys asked for. We're doing an encore performance. Her name is The Ivory Shields, holistic healer, motivational speaker, podcast host, author, and definitely an actress. I'll say actor, but actress. She joins the cast tonight. So welcome. Thank you for being on with us tonight.
Peace, Kings. Always a pleasure to be here. Thank you for having me once again.
All right. First, I'm going to the person to my side. You would know him affectionately around the world as Super Mario Sr.
Only because it's a little one growing up, that's a junior. Welcome to the show, y'all.
All right. Next, I'm going to the mogul, the man that makes the most fire merchandise that we have on display. He is also known around the world as the Date Doctor. I see him changing lives all the time, but tonight he will be the symbol Leo.
I am the artist formerly known as Chris Leo. I just go by the symbol now in protest.
Okay.
Hey, Red.
Okay.
Hey.
All right. Next, I'm going to the man at the bottom who will get us a new endorsement from AT&T or Sprint. Tonight, you will know him as High Value Zay.
Even though they don't value me at Sprint, how y'all doing? See how they do my internet? I think it's gonna be something going on tonight, but we're gonna see. Hey, Red, how you doing?
Hey.
Bro, I definitely think that we have a commercial right with you coming up, man. So first off, man, we've been doing trending news. That's something different. So I do apologize to everybody. We're just flying in from different places dealing with the passing of a few family and friends, and the weather is a little chaotic. So giving a shout out to my family in Charleston, South Carolina, who's experiencing a tropical storm hurricane that should be hitting the banks anytime tonight. I didn't see any of that when I was there, but hey, I made it out. So I want to talk to you guys while we got the Queen on with us tonight. Talk about the news and the media. And I seen a meme that said by air, by sea, or by land, or something like that. Let's talk about black women. The black women are kicking ass at the Olympics right now. They're making history. I see the day that Simone Biles had a mishap and they blasted that everywhere, but she still made the team. But right now, if it ain't track, it's swimming, it's gymnastics. You had a local girl from here that did the thing with the shot put, and you had a young man out of Tampa who's the youngest since 1964 to make the Olympic team. So, man, we're making history, and that's not being covered in the news enough. So, listen, I'm not ESPN, but we got to make sure we celebrate that right now tonight. Mario, what you thought? You're our professional.
I think you said everything that I really wanted to say, because I was just so excited to see the little clips that I did see as I was passing in between the games or the news, and I was just like, man, this is a miraculous time with all this black girl magic and this black, I think it's black boy joy. I think that's what the term is. All this going on, but we're really killing it right now. And I understand the mainstream media is not going to highlight everything we do that's magnificent. So that's what the Black Super Friends are here for, to always keep you abreast of what's going on in the world with us and our magical powers and how we sprinkling it all over the world. And we plan on taking Tokyo by storm. So I want everybody to tune in. And one thing about the Olympics is it run all day in different times. So you can catch it before work, after work, in at lunch hour, just turn in. I know I plan on tuning my when I go to work, just turning the TV on, and when I go in the lunchroom, just to let everybody see what the kings and the queens must have looked like in Egypt back in the day when we walked in. Because that's just how I felt about that. And I'm so happy to see my little girl and to see this kind of stuff. So I can go on and on because I am excited to see us killing it like this. But what you got, Chris? To Naira?
Well, I'm always for celebrating Black excellence in any kind of way, in any kind of capacity. But I hate to be Danny Downer, but before the Tokyo officials of the Olympics said that they didn't want any BLM, Black Lives Matter symbols or shirts or anything wore, and that's kind of where I kind of like strayed away from this year's Olympics, because I know some people personally feel how people personally feel about Black Lives Matter as an organization, but I was strictly talking about the words Black Lives Matter, and I think that it's important that we display that everywhere where we go, and I think that it's more like that shut up and dribble thing, shut up and run, shut up and shot put, shut up and jump thing that they're doing in Tokyo this year. And I just, it's unfortunate that they made that kind of rule, but I support all the Black athletes. I agree with you guys. I think that we're killing it. There's a lot of ladies out there that's really killing it with colorful hair. And but yeah, that's just my stance on it.
Ivory, how does it make you feel being a queen, seeing that going on?
Oh man, it's absolutely it's a pleasure and a joy to watch. And to all of your points, we have been, magical, and we've been excellent, and we've been doing this. We've been great. We come from great. We are greatness. We started everything. So, to see us now on mainstream media, it's very fulfilling. And fortunately, now, with media, with social media, with more people are speaking up, more people are knowing who they are, more people are getting opportunities. And so now you see us in mainstream media, and now you see us on television. But we've been doing this. We've been runners. We've been excellent at everything, especially when it comes to, I was going to say athletics, but most things. And I'll say, as for the Black Lives Matter, it is very unfortunate that they can't express themselves. And I think the young lady, with the colorful hair, for her, it is a form of self-expression. And I just say, to others, don't let that, I think that is the distraction, not wanting to allow Black Lives Matter to come in to deter people from watching it. But they need those girls, those Black women and those Black men, they need our support now more than ever. So I'll definitely be tuning in, and I would love, and I know they want as much support as possible.
How about you, Zay?
Yo, what's going on, guys and lady? Me personally, I'm gonna be ignorant this year. I don't care who is racing, shot putting, or whatever. They Black, I'm on their back. Go, go, go. I ain't gonna know nobody's name.
Okay.
Zay, you back with us? God.
Yeah,
I'm
back.
Damn.
AT&T, please holler at us. We got a commercial for you lined up and silver wrapping. You can take the previous recorders and just cut the check. Listen, so we have our special friend. Yeah, I bet. Listen, we have a special friend on tonight. She is blowing up everywhere. I mean, and it shows that if nothing happens by accident. So how we came together with Ivory, and we have been affiliated ever since. And I must say that people that watch the show love the dynamic, and we're seeing you everywhere. You were just in a movie, so I want to make sure I go back to you, right? So the latest movie that you were in was because you're in a lot of them.
That was the Bad Dad Rehab Part 2 with Big Daddy Kane, Lamont Rucker, Blue Kimball, um, Don Halfkenny, Jennifer Sears, myself, and several other newcomers. And this was one that was produced. This is a spinoff of the original one with Malik Yoba in it. The other guy, I can't recall his name, but very well written film, very well written movie that really highlights Black fatherhood, Black and brown fatherhood. Um, and that's really what I loved about it. It aired on Father's Day on TV1. So you can go back and watch it. Make sure that you check it out. It's just a good, light, heartwarming film. And again, like I said, it highlights Black fatherhood. It highlights Black and brown men, which is, we don't see that a lot. So we need that. So for me, just to be a part of that kind of project, I'm super duper proud of. It's my first feature film with a really meaty role. So that's exciting. But I definitely encourage everyone to check it out. Make it a family event because it's a very fun movie. And it's, it's kid friendly, it's family friendly, one that you can enjoy with the whole family.
Okay, because Chris last week spoke about fatherhood, and I always highlight him because he's gone. And I always highlight him because Chris always comes from he has a daughter, and all of us are really close with our kids. Like Chris' daughter is like my daughter. Like we have that tight knit unit. So him sharing his experiences, I keep telling him you need to YouTube it or make a book about it because he's a good dad raising a daughter that's going into teenage years. So Chris, I salute you.
Well,
Hashtag girl dad. Yeah.
you're damn right. But I'm honestly, I'm still a little salty about Father's Day. I didn't get anything. I didn't get anything. I didn't get a text. So I'm still kind of salty about it. I even took my baby out. All I wanted was a steak and some shrimp, and they couldn't even pay for my baby meal. I had to pay for my baby meal. So, I'm still a little salty about Father's Day, but I definitely will watch that as soon as I get a chance with my baby. Let her know that, because I remember one of our first movies that we watched together that I kind of like forced her to watch it was Princess and the Frog, because the theme of it was the father. So we was only in that for the first 10 minutes, but that's not the point. That's neither here nor there. That's why. So I would definitely watch this with her, and I look forward to telling her, hey, I know that lady that's in that movie. I called her Hey Red.
Yeah. Hey Red. Yeah. It'll be good. Well, don't worry about it, Chris. You'll get something next time.
That's all right.
She has you in her heart. Don't worry.
Oh, my baby gave me the most amazing card. Now, don't get it twisted. Now, my baby gave me an amazing, and I'm gonna post my Father's Day card collection because I got every single one I've ever had. So I'm gonna post that. I should have posted this year.
That would be awesome.
Yeah, right.
Well, I asked you this next question that's going to benefit us. We're like, this cast is kind of the definition of growth. We transition from, young urban kids to, being professional and successful men. We're men now. And I wanted to ask you a question that'll help us. Like, you're very talented, right? Very talented. You're doing a lot of things. But what is your gift? When did you realize it? And how did you cultivate it? Mute.
Well, as a as someone who, I like to think that I have multiple gifts, but I think the two that I lean into the most, and the reason that I lean into them the most is because they're the ones that expand me the most. They're the ones when I initially recognized them, they made me most uncomfortable, and they were the ones that I really, really had to grow into. And that is the gift of empathy and being a healer. So when I say being a healer, just understanding that I have this healing energy, this energy that makes people feel better when they are around. And I'll tell you how I really knew that, or how it was revealed to me. So I don't know, many people who watch your show, my background is I'm an occupational therapist. And so I worked for many years in a hospital. And I remember lots of times patients, like the most difficult patients, we would have some of the most difficult patients, and the other therapists wouldn't want to work with them, and they'd be like, give them to Ivory. Ivory can get anybody to work. Ivory can get anybody to talk. Ivory can get anybody to do anything. And I didn't realize, I didn't know what that was. I knew and this also revealed to me that I had this gift of empathy, just being able to pick up on other people's energy and read other people's energy and sort of match their energy, and kind of hold space for them and meet them where they are, in their healing process, or whatever it was that they were going through. So to answer your question, a lot of times I think for our gifts, they're revealed to us a lot of times by other people. And they're also revealed to us when we're in very uncomfortable situations, or situations that aren't very, maybe painful situations, or situations where we're going through some sort of transition. And that's how our gifts are revealed to us. And a lot of times these gifts are pointed out to us by other people, because we do, for some reason, the world teaches us not to really reflect. The world teaches us not to really go in, and the world teaches us not to praise ourselves and identify those good things about ourselves.
Is there anything that scares you about your gifts?
No, it doesn't. No, it doesn't actually. It just makes me um, learning more about it. I just know that how I have to take care of myself, and how I have to protect myself. And I understand, when I'm in certain situations, I understand what it is. A lot of times it's not even me, it's just the energy.
Well, I said that because you said something about healing, and also just like getting anybody to talk and getting. I think that you would absorb a lot of energy, a lot of pain, and a lot of trauma, and even from the healing, a lot of you absorb a lot of that. Because anything that you're good at, you put a lot of energy into, so you're gonna take some of that back. What do
Facts.
you do? What do you do with that? What do you do with the pain that you have to help someone through? Because that energy has to transfer somewhere. What do you do about that?
That's a great question. You know, there are many things that I do personally. So I have like this whole spiritual little toolkit, So I do lots of cleansing baths. I do lots of saging and incense and crystal healing. I have to make sure that I stay grounded. I live a certain lifestyle um, that keeps me in that space where I'm able to cleanse my energy. I'm able to release certain things. I'm able to release other people's energy. Also, I'm very mindful about checking in with my own energy first before I even enter into a situation, so that I can be aware of anyone else's energy that I'm picking up. Because um, I think a lot of people actually experience this, where they will feel fine, and then they encounter another person, and all of a sudden their energy is just thrown off. And a lot of times it's not even your energy, it's this other person's energy that you picked up. So when you're mindful of that, you go into a situation, and you're able, with that awareness, you're able to protect yourself. And a lot of visualization, in terms of just visualizing a shield over my body and my energy vortex, and that helps as well. So lots of different things that I do. And then just to add on to that, Chris, I think, for some of us, we are built to kind of take the heat, where in certain situations, and I'm one of those people where it doesn't drain me as much as it may drain the next person because I'm built for it, if that makes sense.
Yes,
Yeah.
it absolutely does.
Well, the reason I asked you about the gifts and whatnot, Iris, because like I said, we're all growing, right? But all of these guys are talented in their own fashion. You know what I mean? Even when I want to give credit to some of the guys have unique gifts. Like Zay could go in a room and people light up, similar to you. Like people just affectionately, Mario is wise. Like he has the ability to paint a perspective or make you think in a different way. Chris is similar as well. Chris will bring you around. Chris will have one of the most amazing perspectives, and you will be like, wow, like I've really been floored by them. So a lot of times I know I get on their nerve, when it comes to different shows about pushing. But some of the best shows we've had are ones where they may per se not have known so much, but the way they've responded or the way they've dug deep is like some of our best work. You know what I mean? When we talked about the show about triggers or fatherhood. So that's why I asked about gifts, because all these guys have gifts that I really want to see them cultivate more and take it farther.
Yeah, for sure. And going back to what I said earlier, a lot of times we discover those gifts when we're being stretched and we're uncomfortable. And that's expansion and that's abundance. So I think that's a good thing. And when you're cultivating these gifts, it's not a lot of times a very comfortable thing. But when you're checking in with yourself and it feels good, and at the end of the day it fulfills you and you get joy out of it and you want to go back to it. It's like a love-hate relationship. You love it so much, but it's so uncomfortable, but you just love it, and you can't get away from it. That's when you're on the right path.
Well, I would say looking from our first podcast, which had some skepticism, to where we at now, I think the guys even have to say, like, look at us now. Mario.
Yeah, that's crazy that we even talking about this because just a little bit when we first came on, I was just telling Horace that I'm in a spot in my life where it's like I think my gifts are in that stretching stage right there, because I think one of my gifts is leadership and to be objective. But I think in leadership, it's like to lead people sometimes is draining because you dealing with, because you kind of managing their lives, and then you get that whole point of, like you said, that shield. That just helped me about that shield, visualizing that shield, because I'm going to practice that, because sometimes I go into work and I'll be done listen to stuff and I go in there and certain people walk in and I just be like, this guy. You know what I'm saying? And then the old me, and I'm trying to push myself away from that. And it seemed like it walked right back into, and I be, and me mentally be trying to say I'm better, and I have to like ride off for a minute, because it just like day in a day off of people. Because it bothers me when people are not grateful for stuff. So then when I get around people who, there's so many people losing their lives, and there's so many people who don't have jobs and houses and everything like that, and they think they take everything for granted. That just bothers my soul. So I think that was I'm happy that you brought up that whole point about the shield, because I'm definitely gonna use that in my I think I'm in a zone of expansion right now, and I must agree it does not feel good, but I do know it's necessary, because I can see my further, not to go on, the stuff that I went through before. Me and Chris been talking lately, and as he's walking into his next step, I was happy to say that some of the stuff I went through just a couple of years ago, and I'm on the other side of it, I'm able to say, yeah, bro, I seen that before. And I know that this is the next step for, you know what I'm saying? And as much as he have given me over the years and helped me, I felt good to be able for him to call me and I'd be able to say, shit, I done been through that kind of stuff before, but I know it's not going to feel good, but at least you got somebody here, you know what I'm saying, you can bounce stuff off of. So I concur with everything you just said, because it's a process.
Ashe. And everything we go through is always for someone else. Always.
How
Always,
about you, Dre?
always. So when you're in the middle of something, always remember that your story and what you're going through, that's for someone else.
How value Zay?
Yes, sir. How am I coming in? The Decepticons got me?
Nah, man, you free. You free. We paid the ransom.
Okay, good. Thank God for Jesus. On the talent thing, that one is one that I don't know if I shy away from or if it's just something that I just don't recognize. I mean, when I look at it, I feel like I'm talented on all type of ends because I just pick up on things fast. But to pinpoint what my actual talent is, I'm in the air with it. I have not. It's so many ones that, like you said, you're multi. You have two. Ivory, I think you said that you had mentioned, and I just don't know which one is my strong suit. Like Horace said, he alluded to one. When I come in the room, I can be that go-to guy or that the magic or so to speak. I don't feel that way. You know what I'm saying? I just think I'm just being myself. But I do the ones that I thought that were talents for me would be I have that capability that you said, like a healing or a calming effect. People come to me with their problems. I'm usually like, all right, relax. It's not that big of a deal. Let's sit down. Let's see what we got. Kind of go from there. That's a strong suit of mine. I didn't really look at it as a talent, but then as you said toward the end, that I know we all become conduits. So we go through something so that someone that's in our circle or someone that we come in contact with, we can kind of do what Mario said, lead them through, be a shepherd to them and kind of help them through a tough situation that when we were going through it, it was hazy and we couldn't really figure out our way through it. But then, as he said with Chris, when you see it manifesting itself again, you're like, oh man, I've been here before. Look, don't do this, do that. But I guess that's another talent of mine because I'm helpful. So I'm caring, I guess. Whereas if I don't ever want anybody to go through the things that I went through. So I try my best to make sure that I'm vocal about it or just knowledgeable. And it comes across sometimes as Zay thinks he knows everything, but I really don't. And if you ever talk to me, I'll tell you, I'm the last person to say I know everything. But what I do know, I will share. So again, like I said, maybe caring is my talent. But when I recognize, don't know.
Your healing don't work on me.
A jack of all trades, master of none.
No.
Oh my God, man. So listen, okay, back there. Listen, your healing don't work on me, Zay.
Don't.
Hell no. Ivory, I want to ask you another thing because most of the segments we do were four black men. I always said Chris ain't gave me the angle yet. Single, straight, successful, right? I'm waiting on him to bring me something with that one, right? So somebody had, I think a viewer question came in a while back that asked us, was there a learning curve in relationships? And I didn't know how to really, because that's such a broad question to me. And it seemed like a simple question, but that's a question that a lot of people keep asking. I'm going to go to Mario, and then I want you to give me the insight, Miss Ivory Shields.
But when I heard you say this, I had to, I really just I had my definition of learning curve, but I really wanted to see what it means to everybody else. So I kind of looked it up, and it's exactly what I thought it was. Well, most of the time when you quantify someone's abilities or their progress, it's against an already set format. And so then you say, well, okay, this is how they learn, and this is how they should be at this point. And maybe it's a little more difficult due to the last 10 people I've tested, they only got C's. So we're gonna make the C the highest, and then that's how you quantify somebody's work and give them a fair shot. Well, I think relationships are forever evolving, and I think that it's no set format on a relationship. So to answer your question, I think is no, because you can't have a learning curve because there's no marker on what is the level of perfection or status quo in a relationship. I think that right now, as we enter relationships, it's forever growing because we're growing as people and we're learning each other. The world is steady evolving, and I think we're getting more and more in tune with ourselves. I think we're walking into a point right now where we're starting to understand the depth of love and what it means. But if you used to ask everybody on this show, what do love mean to them? Some of us will have the same things to say, but in a different order. So I think that we do get our love and relationships and everything in different times, different areas and different places. So to answer your question, not to go out around the world, I don't think it can possibly be a learning curve because I think it's no status quo of what should be or what you can compare it to.
I'm gonna go to you next because my answer is definitely going to get Chris hot tonight. So I will go to you first before I incite the date doctor, his anger.
I have to wholeheartedly agree with what Mario said. Just to kind of peel that back another layer and drive that point home, two people coming together, two completely different people who have gone through their evolutionary journeys, who may or may not have done healing work on themselves. But to your point, we are always if we are living, we are always evolving. And so we're always going to be changing. Evolution means that something is changing for the better or not. Hopefully for the better. And so there will always be something to learn. So there'll never be, a standard, and every relationship is different because people have different backgrounds. People have different experiences. So there's never going to be a standard that we can measure anything to. And I will say this, in relationships, I think that there are certain skills that you have to develop depending on who you are, what your experience is, what your strengths are, what your shortcomings are, and what you've been through, and the person that you're dealing with, that you're in love with, that you have made a decision to be in this relationship with. I think that there are certain skills that you have to develop to make the relationship serve your and that other person's highest and greatest good.
Or maybe I don't understand the term right. Because is there a learning curve relationship? I think I'm going to disagree with both of the masters because I feel like there is. Why do I say that? Because last week or 2 weeks ago, I said that I am the best me that I have ever been. Right? Simply because of the growth. You know what I mean? I can look at my prior relationship. I can look at the relationship before that. And once I had accountability, I could see the things that if I would have improved on, may have changed the fate of one. And then one or two of the relationships let me know definitely what I could deal with, what I couldn't deal with. So at this point, I can look at relationships from the get-go and say, nope. Or I can say I'm not going to deal with that. Like if I meet somebody that has XYZ, I'm not even giving it energy because I have learned from prior relationships that no matter how hard I try, that's something that I, at this time, cannot embrace or cannot deal with. So I'm allergic to dogs. So if the world has a dog, I'm not even trying to listen. It's me or the dog. I'm not going to put those kind of demands after the shebang bang. Certain things you can't deal with. So what I'm saying is I am the best me that I have ever been because I have done the work, right? I can smell my own stuff, mama. Chris made me cuss. I have done the works, and I really feel like from all the mistakes that I made before in my life, forget the other person. I am talking about me, the team of me, RJ Stevens.
You the dog, motherfucker.
That's me, and that comes from the learning curve from the deficits that I've experienced in life.
No,
that is all.
That's a fantastic. That's fantastic.
Don't do that. Don't do that, please.
No.
Don't
because
pump him up pump his head up any more than it's already pumped up.
Well, let me say this. That's such a layered question. And the answers to that, and there's no right or wrong, first of all. So it's a very layered answer. So I agree with you. And what you're speaking of is the relationship with yourself. That's the learning curve. So you have so much awareness and insight, and you trust your intuition, and you trust your inner voice. And that's that relationship that starts with you.
That's Wacky Wednesdays, Ivory. Don't worry about it. Never. Go ahead, Chris.
I want to disagree. I want to challenge what Horace said. I just want to challenge it, but because I don't think I think that's not the truth. I think from what I've seen growing up, knowing him, and as a man, I think he's scratching the surface. To be honest with you, I think there's a lot more. He's nowhere near the best man that he's possibly going to be. I think he has a lot more levels to go. So I totally disagree with that. I think he's scratching the surface on his highest ascension, but I definitely don't think he's at the best that he could possibly be, because I think that the potential is so much more higher. And I'm not just trying to, just pump him up, but I honestly believe that, like, just the visionary aspect of him is not even he hasn't even tapped into that fully. Just the leadership, like I think he's getting farther into that. I don't know if he's going to take a stab in politics again. The way he looking at it, he might take a stab in the fatherhood again. So what I'm saying is, I just don't think that, I think the next married Horace is going to be a totally different Horace. So no, I think he's lying. I think he's not at his pinnacle yet. I think he got more to do and higher limits to go. So I challenge that.
Well, I think you don't think he said he the best he has been so far in life? Like, not ever. Not ever. Yeah. I think, like, he just saying, like, out of all the stuff he went through, like, I believe
that, get back to hating on him then.
Yeah. I believe that what you're saying is true to all of us. I think that go to evolution. That's why I don't think it's a curve. Because I think if he meet a woman right now, in 2 years, exactly what you said, Chris, gonna happen. He gonna be a better horse. So he can't even judge his relationship off this horse. So that's why it'll have to keep evolving and evolving. And that's why your point is, my whole point is, I think you're gonna keep getting better. So I think that you'll have to keep evolving, and she gonna have to too, as you'll see that distance start being created, because it's gonna be separation.
I inspire these two, because they're at the bottom, and they just seem to be grouped together. These two eligible bachelors at the bottom of us, they need that word, because they too have evolved a lot. Chris, man, you just want to hug that brother. That brother has really been a champion. The vulnerability, the transparency, even when he talks about his filthy ways, the confessional, the testimonials are inspiring. See, they'll give you a half truth. Chris just lays it out and just say, hey, here it is. Boom. I was honest.
Well, I think Zay a little more cool. I think Chris just gloves off. I don't think.
Thank you.
I think Zay give it to you easy like wine, and Chris is cognac.
There you go. Exactly. A shot of he is straight no chaser, and that's okay, because the world needs that. The world needs that. The world needs Chris's. The world needs Zay's. So it's all good. It's a nice little balance, and I would have to agree. I think that Chris has evolved. With letting those walls down. He had up a lot of walls, and he just was tough and didn't want to show any vulnerability. And so I definitely have seen the evolution there. I've seen the evolution in all of you since some of your first shows, and it's beautiful to witness. I mean, y'all know I've been fans of y'all for a long time, and what you're doing, I say this all the time, and I'll keep saying this. What you all are doing is so valuable. Your dynamic and just the energy that you all have together, and you all are doing that for each other, helping each other evolve. And you all are going back, Zay, your gifts are gonna be revealed to you, I think, by your brothers. And I've seen evolution for everyone on this platform, myself included. So
I agree with you. I be beating down walls all the time.
Oh my gosh! Did we say that was Wacky Wednesday? What show is that? Listen, Chris.
You brought up walls. I'm agreeing with you.
I am not slow. Okay.
Never mind.
I'm cute, but I'm not slow.
Never mind. I was agreeing.
Zay, I'll value Zay.
I actually I agree with Horace to a degree because I feel that there are learning curves. Like you said, Mario, this Horace with the next relationship is going to have learned things from the previous relationship that he's going to take into the new one to make sure he's the better version of himself. So I think that there are learning curves. I think that when it comes to like relationships, a lot of people don't take into effect that there are learning curves. They have so many standards, so to speak, that they want. You should already know this. You're this age, or you've been in a relationship before, but they don't know what that relationship taught you. You see what I'm saying? And when you start to learn like love languages and things like that, you start to understand that everybody speaks differently, and you have to feel them out. It's not going to be like that last situation, and it may not be like any other situation you ever come into. It's going to be unique to you. So as you said about the continual growth, you just got to stay green so that you can grow. I think the minute that you feel like you've arrived or you're right, you start to rot. And that's the distance that Mario talked about, because at that point you can't get through to that individual because you can't teach them anything. So y'all stop growing, and that's where the love kind of stops. So I do believe that there's a learning curve. I believe the things that you did when you were younger, you're not going to do again. And the things that you did to foil a relationship, I don't think you want to repeat that either. So if a long-standing relationship or is something that you want, then yeah, you're going to learn how to not fudge it up, so to speak. So that's the learning curve. And I believe that that's in any relationship that you get, whether it's platonic, whether it's business, or, something that is affectionate. You're going to have a learning curve. You got to figure those people out. But that's just what I see.
Okay. Ivory, are we going to be invited to the wedding whenever that happens for Miss Shields?
Of course you all are.
All right.
Absolutely.
I'm going to be there with cooked rice. The rice I got is going to be cooked.
I'm going to bring my yak. Chris.
Can I sing?
Yes.
The upper room. That what you saying, Chris?
He Chris Watson.
Yeah.
I would be like Martin when he did the Jodeci.
Oh man.
Yes,
Listen.
you all will definitely have an invitation for sure.
Just close your just walk down with your veil on, because I'm throwing that rice. I'm gonna be stinging the hell out of your husband. Yeah.
Vanessa, I'm still a she-man woman hater.
Damn.
Definitely just think Chris was a.
We got a sniper. We got a sniper out there.
That is the nicest thing she ever said to me.
Well, let me go off topic, Ivor. Let me get raw with you. And this is me.
Whoa, this is not that kind of show, Horace.
Yeah, pause.
You got ladies on the show.
Gloves on.
Even Ivor said
pause. Pause. Yes. But I
Jesus.
know what you mean.
Control yourself,
These guys, bring it back.
Okay, so listen, I want to ask a question real quick before we get off, because you have a question for us. Narcissism. We love the IG girls. I like them. We gonna look. Where are the regular people at? I just seen a post where like all these girls in the airport had just came from getting their surgeries, right? And like it's just so much narcissism. Like is it our fault? Is it me? Is it men's fault that women are going to these extremes right now? Like what happened to the girl at the bus stop sucking on a lollipop with a ponytail and the sweatpants? What happened to the regular women, just like the down chicks? Everybody is, I don't know what the term is, but like everybody going to the same doctor.
What does BBL mean?
Yeah, I want to ask that too.
Brazilian butt lift.
Oh.
Yeah.
How did you not know that?
Yeah.
Why would you know that?
Because the same reason you said, I watch IG. I just look, that's it. But I wanted to tell you though, Horace, all that body stuff that these women are doing don't have anything to do with us four guys. Women be in competition with they damn self.
Yeah.
I'm gonna look better than that B over there. But we can't say it. God forbid we say it, but they gonna say it. And there's gonna be, competition. It's gonna be beef. And the whole time, we don't even like it. We like to look at it, but we ain't taking it home. Not for real.
Ivory, we gonna smash. But other than that, we are marrying the women who bring peace the prosperity, the success. We don't care about eyelashes. We don't care about the Hawaiian silky.
That was for the prostitutes.
The
eyelashes.
But I'm just saying, overall, that is not what's making us married. We gonna like you. You're gonna be fine. We might go out, but that's not getting you to the altar. Chris said something one time: women control
access to sex, and men control access to relationships.
Yes.
That's not exactly my statement. That is a Kevin Samuel statement.
And I think it's a very true statement. I think that there's a lot of value in that statement, and there's a lot of truth to that statement. Oh my God. Okay. So this is a very layered question with a very layered answer. A lot of you have touched on some of it. It is definitely competition with women being in competition with each other to look a certain way. Everything from our bodies to what we wear to the kind of purses we wear and the labels that we wear. That's the competition with us. But I'm not going to sit here and let all the women take all the heat, because we can't take all the heat for this, because even though men are not saying, oh, well, we're not marrying that, but you're still looking at that. You still give it attention, and you probably give it more attention than you would give a regular woman. And so women do want that attention. That's part of the reason why we look good. And when a woman is into a man, she wants attention from her man. So it's really it's everybody has a role to play in what's going on here. Of course, social media, everybody's putting their wins on social media. Everybody's posting their angles. We're posed at the right angle on social media. But when you see this person in person, live, they don't look like they look in their pictures. And so that's something to be mindful of as well. I think that a lot of
catfishing,
younger women, maybe even not just younger women, catfishing, may not even realize that. But I think that, I'm hoping that this is like a trend that will eventually just kind of die off, especially as the girls who've gotten them, in the past, they get older and they see the ramifications and they see the side effects of what's happening. I'm hoping that the trend will die down, or the practices and whatnot will just be a little bit better, or the proportions may be a little bit more natural. But to your point, men aren't really marrying those girls. They aren't really marrying those women. And I think another layer to this, y'all know I'm just here to peel back the layers. Another layer to this is that we're thinking about the here and now. We're thinking about the present moment. We're not accustomed to thinking long term. So we're just thinking, okay, right here, right now, I need to get this BBL. I need to get these breasts. I need to get this waist snatched because I'm trying to get a husband or whatever. But we're not thinking long term that that's not what men are wanting. We're not thinking about long term.
I was about to tell you. Sorry about that. I was about to tell you what an uncle of ours told us about that keeper man. That BBL is not gonna keep a man. No, if your keeper man don't work, you might be in trouble.
You might be in trouble. And we've been.
But do you really think that they were looking for a husband? See, I don't think the BBL is dope. I think they're looking for
attention. They looking for attention.
Stability.
Attention and a bag.
Paymaster.
Right.
Yeah,
right.
The bag.
So when marriage is not the focus, then you would do something like that that's not sustainable, because you're just looking for stability and trips and stuff like that. So that's going to breed that.
You're right. Exactly. My apologies. Yes. They're thinking about here and now, the bag. They're not thinking about long term, like being in relationships and building wealth and thinking 10, 20 years down the line. They're thinking right now, fast money, the music that we listen to, everything that we see in the media. You know, the girls are getting the money, get the bag, and keep it moving.
Mm. But you said something about it's because that's what we pay attention to. We pay attention to a lot of things. When did women start caring what we particularly pay attention to? Because we pay attention to porn. I don't see them going out of the way to just have freaking nasty sex with us all the time. We pay attention to the game. I ain't never seen them pick up a basketball. So the thing that we pay attention to, they don't normally flock to that. This is a female thing, and I think that all the time that we do this all the time. Instead of just holding them completely accountable, we find some way to slip
Blame
men
the man
into this. No, we don't. We have nothing. We have nothing to do with this.
at all.
Absolutely nothing to do with this. We're not doing this. This is something that they're doing, and we need to hold them strictly accountable for what they are doing. That's just what it is. So this is the hat. This started with hair, makeup, all this stuff. We didn't start doing that. That's a female thing.
And we don't care for it either.
I'm gonna push back on you because I'm gonna push back on you on that. And I'm gonna tell you why. Because men, it's all about first impression. It's all about what you look like.
Okay. But you know what though, Ivory? That's the smash. I'm gonna take a page smack out of Chris' book. That's the smash. That's not the key. And I want you to understand with that, the body thing, just like he said, that's women trying to get other women's attention. I said that in the beginning, trying to outshine. Definitely not because of us, because we look at the damnedest of things. We look at cars. We don't see women rushing to grab those neither. You see what I'm saying? So it don't have a whole lot to do with us. They do that to get the attention of the others. Oh, I got such and such. But if you notice, like you said, all the women we seen with those BBLs, they're getting cheated on. No
and
different
they're not
than
married. I
no,
agree.
they are, but then they get left. They get married at first, and then or they get into a relationship, get the BBL or whatever the case may be, then they get left because that wasn't what was sustaining. That's not going to keep them. And I seen one chick talk about, you said the bag, but they don't. A lot of them don't even realize to take a bag because when you put those foreign objects into your body later on, you got to spend that bag again. You got to spend it twice, and they ain't telling you that. The upkeep on those things, whether it be your
Very
butt, your
true.
breast, whatever it is that you go get. So I don't know. I can't put us men totally at fault. We like what we like, but we joke
I
about
think
it
it's
too
a
a whole
shortcut.
lot.
I think it's a shortcut because to be a virtuous woman, take a lot of work. Like you,
Yes.
like right now, it used to be that you had to be a listener. You had to learn patience as a woman. You had to learn how to cook. You had to learn how to be nurturing. You had to be childbearing. Now, all I got to do is just look like this. I'm gonna wow his mind and then get all his emotions, his lust. Just tap into his lust bank, and then that's gonna tap into his pocket. And I'm gonna skip all the other stuff I gotta do and just be a figment of his imagination. Because every man have a woman that like, damn, that she is just amazing. And you want that because it fulfills that part of you, but that's not sustainable because at the end of the day, once a man starts understanding like, hey, I need this, this, and this, and this, then you're not gonna be it.
Yeah.
Well, that's an excellent point, and you hit the nail on the head. Where what I was getting ready to go to, it's really a distraction. It is a focus on the outward, on the outside, on the outside of us, instead of focusing on the inside. Instead of focusing on, okay, let's get to the real issues here. Let's get to the real healing work. Not necessarily healing on your body. Let's get to this heart work. Let's do this stuff. Let's heal this unresolved trauma. Because there's a reason why you feel like you need to do these things to yourself. And to your point, Mario, this is simply for a lot of women, I think, not for every woman. Because, people be coming for me. Well, Ivory said, listen, can I speak truthfully, y'all? I need permission to speak truthfully. For some women, it's just for some women, it is sort of a shortcut where they feel like, I can do this to my body and then I can get this man that I want. I can get the bag. I can blah, 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 blah. Instead of doing this internal healing work, this self-evaluation, this looking at yourself and, okay, what are my shortcomings? What are my areas of opportunity? What's the stuff? What are my triggers? What are the things, why am I not being able to be vulnerable? How is my masculine energy dominating in my relationships? Those are the things that we have to really get real and get serious about and look in the mirror and start addressing those things. But those things take work. It takes longer than a 12-week or 8-week surgery recovery process. That's years of work, and it's very uncomfortable. It's more uncomfortable than a BBL.
Well, I have a question. And that's more of a statement. There's a new term called high value man that has been trending lately, right?
Uh-huh.
So
Notice
high
that.
value man is still a man. We like it. He's gonna tap it. He might take you to dinner. He might take you on a trip. He gonna hit that. Oh my God, where everyone at?
She don't hear that shit.
Into yellow bone abyss.
Oh man, that ain't good.
She'll
Just
be
when I
back.
had the question, she might have ran to abort the question. So listen. Okay, we
How
got
about you,
Ask it
man? Say,
anyway.
man, drop them chicken
excited
nuggets.
and got off the truck.
Uh-oh. I don't know what happened.
Yeah,
That's what I said.
You think y'all bougie in that high rise now? Now you get acting totally different.
Airplane went by. But let me ask you something, Ivory.
Yes.
So the high value man, that's a new term. He's gonna play with it and whatnot. But that high value man is gonna look, even when he's entertaining and dining, he's looking for that value add. You know what I mean? What is the term Chris says, return on investment? Like he has it. What are you gonna do that's gonna make me want to offer what I work hard to bring? Like I'm established, I got this, and that. In reality, that man feel like, he's in a position where he's gonna look for the best woman for him, right? So I said that to say those women are missing out on that point of like you're doing all of that, but the high value man that you're chasing, what's the odds of you actually getting that guy? Unless he's one of those dudes that's lame, what's the odds of him actually getting that man to marry her?
That's a loaded question.
I'll be loaded.
Yeah.
I'll be loaded.
Let me say this, and I'm a big fan of a lot of Kevin Samuels's content and what he says, and I think that a lot of what he says has tremendous value. I think that, and there are different kinds of high value men. Okay, so there are, I mean, I wouldn't automatically, to Kevin's point, I wouldn't automatically place entertainers and athletes and those kind of guys just because they earn a certain amount of money. I wouldn't place them in a high value per se category. They don't automatically go into a high value category just because they make a lot of money and they're athletes and they're entertainers. A high value man, a corporate man, or these kind of men are looking for women who are agreeable, to Kevin's point. Women who are not, it's not unfamiliar for them to take personal responsibility for their choices and their actions. Women who are willing to be vulnerable, who are willing to stay in their divine feminine energy, who are able to pull back out of that masculine energy. And you also have to look at, okay, this high value man, he places a lot of value on certain things. And so it just depends on the man. It depends on the woman. Why would someone want to date a person if I place all of this value, let's just say your physical appearance, for example, your body. If you're a high value man and you work out a lot, you exercise and you take care of your body and you eat right, it's more of a strain to try to invest in or bring in someone who doesn't place value there. That's only fair to yourself. There are you don't want to necessarily date someone who's just like you, but some things, some fundamental things, you just don't need to expend that extra energy on trying to convert this other person.
Well, the things that you describe is not a high value man list. It's a everyman list. Regular men want agreeable women. Regular men want women that keep themselves up. You know what I'm saying? We all want this. Mm-hmm. So I mean, and again, men judge themselves more realistically than I believe women do. So
True.
so a man is going to understand that, okay, well, I may not get the slimmest, finest woman, but I'm not going to negotiate agreeableness, cooperativeness. I'm not going to or respect. I'm just not going to negotiate that. I take a little extra cushion for the pushing. I don't mind that personally, but at the same time, so those core values, yeah, I want feminine acting women. I don't want to be with no dude at all. So a lot of those things that they say high value men want, and I can't speak on that because I'm not a high value man according to definition. Regular men want those same things too. Just I think we all want that.
And I agree with that.
I got a question for Chris. Do you think that? Well, I agree too. Do you think that the high value men that we speaking of, like Chris said, for the definition of a high value man, actually want that? Because I'm saying, like, right now, let's just say you make $200,000 a year, right? On my own, right? I probably have a cook. I probably have a maid. I probably have so I'm not gonna require for a woman to cook. I'm not gonna require for a woman to clean because at the end of the day, it's in my budget. So I already have been paying for this. I'm not trying to save no money. Money's not a thing. I get money. So at this point, that's when the BBL and that's when my fantasy. That's why those men seem, because now it's just like I don't really want. I just want something to play with. And I think a lot of men do that, and that's why those women seem to kind of catch those men at a higher rate, like because it's almost not like the substance not required as much because you're giving them a way out because of the money, because you do it for yourself.
I'm thinking of like a corporate man. Okay, if it's a corporate man and he's dating a woman has now, don't get me wrong, some BBLs are done very tastefully.
Right. And I agree.
And that's okay. And that's fine. But these situations you see where it's just disproportion and it looks very obvious. When I think about a corporate guy, right, who is going to his work functions with his colleagues who are probably white men,
right,
he's not going to want that kind of attention. Not for a woman that he's taking seriously.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
I don't see that happening. So he may not even take her to a function, to a work function.
That's what I'm saying. I'm agreeing with that.
He wouldn't take her to a work function. So so that's why I say they probably would not marry these kind of women. More high value men, corporate men, they will marry more regular looking women or a woman who has a BBL it is done tastefully.
Right.
I don't know, because I can't speak for those men because I don't hang out with those men. I'm not one of those men. So it's hard for me to speak to what they would like. But I think that by all definitions, I think we kind of want the same. We kind of want the same thing. Like we all like the thick ones, the ones that's voluptuous and things like that. But again, you want to walk down the beach without having to fight every dude there. You know what I'm saying? You want to be able to go everywhere and not have to defend yourself or her everywhere we go. So
Right. So you'd be less inclined
really
to take that seriously.
A lot of men worry about that?
Right.
What's that?
You really think a lot of men worry about that?
Yeah, I think that when you got a woman with some big ass titties and big ass, and you can get tried.
No, I'm saying, do you think they worry about it? Do you think like a man saying, I don't want to be with her because I can't. There's too much because the dude looking at my woman.
I think any woman that brings on unwanted attention, I think men don't want to deal with that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because y'all don't respect them. I see this at Daytona. Not y'all, but I've seen that at different things. But listen. Before we give it to Ivory, I do want to highlight something. The only problem I have with the definition of high value is I don't know if money always involved, because I think a high value man could be that day-to-day guy who owns a home, kids are gone, like the guy that's just really on paper to catch.
Yeah.
I agree.
Kevin, don't listen. He's sorry. He didn't mean that. He didn't mean that.
No, what I'm
Did not
saying
mean
is
that.
the guy who might not have a lot of money, he owns his house, he got a secure job, you know, the kids may be gone, but he's really in control of his life. That is rare. Like everybody, man or women, a lot of people ain't got control. Like he is just an everyday dude with some security. You know, he can work every day, know how to cook, you know how to clean. He would love a
Good
woman.
man.
But that's your
Them
triple.
girls
That's
want
that's
that.
what that's
Those
your
men
triple
go.
S though. That's your
Yeah, they
triple
go
S.
last.
What you were
I
saying.
would agree with that. I would agree with Horace. I don't think
Well,
high
what yours
value
then?
man.
Well, which
Never.
one you picked then? Since you agree so much, which one you picked? Name one you picked then.
Stinky.
Because I always hear that shit. Oh,
Wait,
I agree with
Oh,
you what you're saying, but you don't never. Show me your receipts. Show me the
wait,
receipts, Ivory.
what do
Go
you
on,
mean
tell
my
me.
receipts? What are
Show
you
me
talking
your
about?
receipts. You
Got
say
him.
you like those type of man. Show me the receipts.
I didn't say I like that type of man. I
Oh,
said I
okay.
agree with Horace. Yes, pipe down, okay?
Got him.
Pipe down. Pump your brakes. What I said was I agree with Horace in that a high value man doesn't necessarily mean he's a high earner. There's a difference between high earners and high value men. Just because you're a high earner doesn't mean you're high value. I agree with that. I believe you can be a high value man, meaning that you're valuable if you don't make a whole lot of money. But you could be a high earner and a high value
Kevin
man.
Samuels watches our show
I
all
know
the
he
time.
does.
Do not let this go out because he has the definition and he watches our show. He always telling us he loves what we're doing, stealing all our content. But
We have much respect for KS. We do. We do. But that doesn't mean that we can't have our own opinion
rebuttal.
and our own thoughts about it.
Yeah,
Yes.
because high value right now, debt free is a value
That's
to
high value.
that's
Well,
high
I
value.
think. Well, I heard Kevin speak on his high value, and one thing he always says, because he does say that it just doesn't have money, because you got to have money and charisma
And
charisma
network. And
and network.
network.
See, because you can't just say I'm a guy who I'm a fly on the wall and I got good credit. I got this. Yeah, you still ain't. Women still gonna pass over you. So
Fact.
you still gotta have that savoir faire to walk in somewhere and say, "Damn, who is that over there?" You still got it. That's a part of. That's a lot of nerds in Silicon Valley who make $400,000 who can't get a woman. So
Correct.
you still gotta have it.
Yep.
To those guys watching, call
Gotta
me.
have
I got
swag.
you.
And that
I'm
and
gonna
that's
help you
and
get
that's
some good
key.
clean girls.
They ain't on you.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well,
Gotta be
Ivory,
in
before we close
Yes.
out, we're gonna change. We're gonna give you the reins and let you ask the question because we always,
Ah,
right at you, Chris. But we're always asking all these questions. You're always being interviewed because we love you. I will be honest, we're
I
very
love
proud
y'all
of you.
more.
We're proud of you, man. When I see
Likewise.
you on TV, I be like, hey, right here, yo. So that means a lot.
Ashe. Likewise. So thank you for giving me the floor. I do have a question for you guys, for you fellas. So for you kings, I call
Yes, sir.
you as you are.
You
So
ain't lying. You ain't lying.
when I know I'm not. I know it. So here's the thing. I hear a lot of men nowadays referencing women as females. And so I want to know is there a subliminal message behind it? I don't particularly agree with it or like it because I feel like when you reference women as female, that can be anything. Female could be a child, it can be an infant baby, it can be an old woman. It's taking really for me, I feel like it's taking the respect out of how you address a woman. And so I say that because female is just stripping away anything. Female is just stripping away any sort of wisdom that she has, any sort of her personality, how she shows up, her good energy, or whatever. That's stripping that away when you just reference her as a female versus a woman. Because if you were talking about your mother, you wouldn't say, yeah, my mom, that female, she is strong as hell. She's a good female. You wouldn't reference your mother that way, or your sister, or your aunt. And so my thing is, I reference men as king a lot, and it doesn't necessarily mean that every time I say that to somebody that they're king. They're probably not in their king energy yet, but I call you as you are, because what I understand is that when you speak life into people, you're speaking life into yourself, because we are reflections of each other. We are mirrors of each other. And so if you're constantly referencing someone as a female, you're going to continue to have females show up in front of you, versus referencing women, and you ultimately will have women showing up in front of you and in your reality.
Well, who are you asking that question to first?
Whoever, Chris, go ahead, because I know you got a lot to say.
Well. Here we go again.
Chris, let me get the buzzer ready.
Okay.
Right there.
So,
all right, go ahead.
I think that we refer to women as female because it's science. It's irrefutable. If you have the two X chromosomes and a vagina, you are a female. And we live in a world now that the woman is subjective. Like, we got to call Caitlyn Jenner a woman. They want us to call it. Heterosexual black men didn't do that. We also live in a world where we have to call Zaya Wade a little girl. So these things is now starting to be subjective. Female is not subjective. It is strictly science. Now, but my issue is why is this a problem? Because it seems to us that it's just another thing to be offended by. And women has a long you gonna let me finish. Women have a long laundry list of things to be offended by. Now they don't want to be called female, even though they're female. Now they don't want to be told to smile, even though it make them look better. They want us to holler at them in a certain way. Every woman don't want to. It's just so confusing. So what we would like you to do is get with your women folk and find out what it is you guys want to be called, because we can't generalize you. Anytime we say women. Speak about women, y'all say, well, not all. We get the all police call. So why don't you come together with your women folk and find out whatever it is? Because men like things simple. If every one of you women like to be called women, I mean, we'll call you women. You won't call you lady, we'll call you whatever we want to. Some men call women sweetheart, and that's offensive to some women. Some men say, whatever.
Don't call them that.
It's just every woman is like they gotta find something to be offensive by. And I also think it's some kind of Jedi mind fuck, because trick. My bad. It's a mind trick, because if you keep men walking on eggshells and not knowing what's going on and confusing, then they're easily controlled. So I say no, absolutely not. Until you guys come up with a definition of what you all want to be called, then we'll go by that. And we don't have no problem with that. That's what I think.
I want to tackle it a second. Go ahead, Ivory.
You're going to be mad for a long time, because there's never going to be a universal title that we're going to all agree with.
Exactly.
Okay.
What we got to do is what we want to do.
Okay.
Men do what they want. Boys do what they can.
Let me know how that work out for you. Now, as far as females, males, women, we don't go around saying, "Oh, that male over there looks good. Oh, that male tried to talk to me." We don't do that. So we don't reference you all as males. We don't do that. So you all reference us as females.
Well, I'm gonna say you're gonna get 4 different perspectives on this show. I'm gonna say, when you hear a dude be like, "Whew, females," or "females," he's a person that when he gets to that point, that's when that person has gotten to a certain place in his life where the frustration is put him in that place. When I hear somebody say females and we use that term, it is more saying typical. So that means when I say females, I'm putting all of y'all in one bubble, because at this point in my life, I feel like y'all all the same. And right now, I'm saying the hell with all of y'all. So female. So you ever gotta be like, boy, females. It's like that part in Baby Boy when he say unstable creatures. You remember that line? That feel like there's certain things that guys feel like it don't matter how good you are, how bad you are, it applies to all women. And that's when you're gonna hear females as compared to lady and etc. When Joe say females, you have pissed him off to the point of festivity. When you say females, you're saying you just like everyone else. And right now, I'm putting you in that group. So to forget what you told me about being special, right now, you're a female, because I don't see any difference.
And what I want people to realize is that's a you issue.
Hey,
That's a you problem. That's not anybody else's issue. Because if female after female after female keeps showing up, it's one common denominator, you.
who? Hey, baby.
So yeah. And I want women to understand that too. When you encounter a man who's constantly referencing women as female, 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 that's a him problem. That's something going on in him.
By telling the truth. Yeah. That's an issue. By telling the truth.
But whose truth? And what truth?
Science.
In what context? No, that's no.
Right.
No. Because you wouldn't reference your mother as female. You would when you're speaking in conversation to someone else about your mother or your sister who you love dearly, you wouldn't reference them as female. So I have to push back on you on that. I can't accept that.
I totally get that, but it doesn't change the fact that it's not true.
Well, listen, I'm going to go to Zay first, only because I know Mario is going to come clean it up, or maybe he's going to come and really nail it home as a consensus. Come on, high value Xavier. You're a professional.
You rubbed off on me.
Say the N-word.
No, I'm conflicted on it because when you go fill out an application, it has male, it has female, and it's not a problem then. You know, we play sports and they have a win column and a loss column, and it's either you won or you lost. So it's either you're a male or you're a female. I let the woman actually dictate which one she's going to become, whether she's going to become a woman, a bee, or whatever else she becomes because of her character or her actions. Like sometimes we have conversations and I can understand where Chris is coming from, where you'll be generalizing women on a whole, not specific, just the bad apples, I guess, like the police, and not all women. Well, doggone, you know that it's y'all species that we're talking about. If the comment doesn't pertain to you, don't take offense. But again, that's what Chris was talking about, where we as men have to now walk on eggshells. But the scope changes when it becomes men because it becomes dogs and everything else that we're not. You know, we're men. And it's craziest part, but we don't battle women who say those things. We just kind of overlook it and kind of try to get to the end to see if we can resolve the problem. Because as Chris said, we men kind of like the path of least resistance. But it just seems that every time we try to address a situation or a problem with women, that becomes a problem. You say female, then that becomes a problem. And it's a Jedi mind trick. Like Chris said, so much so to the man just go, oh, hell, forget it. And the problem never, ever gets doggone resolved. So no, you're going to take it that you are a female because I know you're not a man. And I'm addressing you as one. Now, when you want to become a lady or a woman, then I'm going to tell you to act as one, and then I'm going to treat you as one. But until then, it's male and female. That's how God made it. He made no difference. And I don't understand what's the hubbub really about it. So I actually think that the internalization that you were talking about don't really have anything to do with the man. It's the woman. Or I take it back. Or the person who's internalizing the truth. Because it's the truth at the end of the day. He didn't say anything wrong.
It's a you problem.
All right.
Again, if you, I have to go back to you said some operative words. When a woman shows you that she's a lady or she's a woman, then you will address her as such. So what you're saying to me is that you're coming out of the gate just referencing her as just referencing women as female. Is that based on? And that's based on your experience.
Blank sheet of paper. No, blank sheet of paper. My experience and my truth is I've tried to convey information to the female side of the gender, right? And it's not taken because they didn't like that they were called a female. Then you say, okay, I can't call you a man. So what next should I call you?
And then she's going to say woman. Do I?
Right.
Then I'm going to say, do I call all women women?
No, I'm not all women.
Is that okay? Is that okay? But then you can't, because I don't mind. I don't mind concrete things where you just say, call us all women. I have no problem with calling you whatever you want me to call you. But you gotta come to a consensus on this and say this is what we'd like to be called. Ivory, and do you say that women like to be called women? Because
I
from
like
now
to be
on,
referenced as woman. Not
oh,
everybody likes to be referenced
so we're
as
gonna
woman.
get you a shirt that says I like to be called.
Listen,
Thank
It's
you.
I'm gonna go to Mario, but I'm not giving a point to this side, but I will say you may hear men say female. Women don't say men.
dog.
When they get mad, they say the N word.
Them
They,
too.
and I'm gonna say that they be like
That's true.
Negroes,
Hmm.
Negroes.
You being
So,
nice tonight.
yeah, they say Negro. We say female, they be like Negroes. It's been in a lot of movies. Super Mario, I am so sorry. There you go, sir.
Well, no,
Oh,
okay, y'all made some good points, all y'all. Then to get technical, I think what Chris is saying to the first point he made about is scientifically true. That is true. Any
that's
any
true.
any any species that bears a child and has a child is a female. But then a woman is, when you say a woman, that's an adult female. So after female, it goes to girl or woman, and then that's the transition between a little girl or a woman. And then after that, you get lady, and lady is off of your candor, how you act, and how how you present yourself. So to me, at what Ivory's point is if lady is the lowest denominator of adjective to describe me, I wouldn't want to be called it. So I can understand you. I can understand you saying don't call me the lowest form of what you can possibly find to call me.
I feel
But
that way about female, not
about
lady.
female, that's what I'm saying
Yeah.
about female.
Okay.
Then and then lady is the highest.
Yeah.
So right, technically, without saying some kind of thing that can be twisted and said it's sexist of some sort, when it's still trying to be, it's just another word for lady. But I think it's kind of you kind of get into a gray area because as a man, you do get confused because see, we're not monolithic either. And I think a lot of time what happened with men is some men are saying lady in horse form. Ah, and some men are saying lady just like shit. I mean female, like, you know what? That's the women, that's the woman, that's the girl, the woman, that's their species. That's the male and female. But then some men are using it to be derogatory. So I think that, I think it's always got to be in what context is being used. Because sometimes you're right, you might not say that, but I'll be like, and I don't think I heard too many men I hang around just even use the word female. Like, you know what I'm saying? But a lot of time I hear the men use the word female is because they try not to say the B word.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So a lot of time is you try, because we talk, especially being from Florida, we use that word in every other sentence. And a lot of time you got to catch yourself and you be like, females. Mm-hmm. So the next thing you do, you know what I'm saying? You say females instead of saying, broads, that's what so a lot of time I think they looking at it as, I don't want to call you a bitch, excuse me. I want to just call you a female. But I'm not saying it as a derogatory time. I'm just trying to think of a word not to be derogatory. Then that goes back to Chris's A point. So I don't want to call you a bitch, even though I don't mean malice, but it is a bad word. So then I say female, then that's bad. So then it's like, oh, goddamn, nah.
Yeah.
Bullshit. Because you know what I'm saying? You don't get offended when Chris say, hey, Red. But I know women who are lighter than you who get offended when somebody say, hey, Red, when you know that that's a cat call of some court. And he's not saying you're ugly at any kind of point if he's yelling, hey, Red. It might not be appropriate to you, that you might not want it, but you know it's not derogatory.
Right.
So I think that's when men just always, every day, is just trying to find a way to be themselves and call you without saying that we wrong. We wrong again. We wrong again. Because it keeps changing. Then right now, it's just like you said, according to people, I have to call Caitlyn Jenner a woman. Like, that's what I got to do.
It got
like, but I never have to call her a female.
I never have to call her a female.
No.
Because you can't bear kids.
Well,
so I can always tell Caitlyn that you can't bear kids, so I can't call you. But I have to call her a woman. I might have to call her a lady. All that else stuff. One thing I would never have to call her is a female. I can prove that you cannot bear a child.
I think she won some award of Woman of the Year.
Yeah.
Again, you have completely distorted the word woman, and I didn't see women fight
Have a problem with
against
it.
But yeah,
but when we say female, we got to get fought up. No,
I-
it's fake outlash. It's fake. It's fake. Whatever this called. No, we ain't going for that. We ain't falling for that.
I
Yes.
apologize. That question didn't go like you thought it would, did it?
That's okay. No, here's the beautiful thing. Here's the beautiful thing about open dialogue. It's a discussion. And the beautiful thing about feminine energy and masculine energy, feminine energy is very chaotic. It's creative and it's chaotic. We women, we will always bring chaos to the world. That is just what we do. That's feminine energy. And you all are very strategic and orderly energy. Masculine energy is the antithesis, it's the opposite of it. And so we're going to always have this yin and yang and this pull and this push. That's going to always be the case, Chris. So, like I said before, you're going to always be mad if you're looking for a black and a white and a definitive answer. This is dialogue, and it just depends on the woman, but it's all good.
You see what I'm talking about? Ivory, do you see what I'm talking about? Do you see? I just want you to look at this comment right here. Do you see what I'm talking about right here? Now you understood exactly what I was saying when I was saying women can Caitlyn Jenner can't bear. We're saying with everything working, that a man can never have a womb for a child.
Because they gotta be.
But then look what happens. But then look what happens. But then look what happens. You gotta go type and then find some cis women can't have. So that means see what I'm talking about?
Emotional answer. I think
females.
That is just so we can be wrong. It's about being right. It ain't about being agreeable. It ain't about understanding. It's about, hey, let me find out a way that they're wrong. That's all that's about. That's why she will die alone.
Oh, stop it, Kevin Samuels Jr.
Man.
Hey, Chris Sam.
She don't care about Caitlyn.
This is the right. This is feminine. We're gonna always bring in many different perspectives, guys. That's just what we do, y'all. And y'all just we're
Ivory.
here. Yes.
Is it fair to say that women think emotionally and men think logically? That's why. Go ahead.
Absolutely.
Oh, okay.
There's definitely some truth to that. Some women, we all have the ability to do both. Mm-hmm. But I think that
lean on your strong suit.
I think we are stronger in that area. Some of us, some women. Let me not. Do I have the permission?
Because we don't want to offend the women.
Yes, we do.
Some women have the ability to lean more strongly on their logical side. But I think naturally, women, we do have that emotional thinking emotionally and leading with our emotions. That's our strength.
Mm-hmm. Hey, Ivory, let me just say this, and I'm gonna just stop for the night. You when you asked that question, just 1 second. When you asked that question, you said, "Why do men?" And then you on the show with 4 men, and none of us said some. Not all. None of us said it. None of us, because we understood what you were saying. You were speaking. You were generalizing. We understood that. We didn't attack you. We didn't say some. We didn't look up a definition of man means this. We didn't do that. And that's what I'm talking about. It get to the point to like it's overwhelming. Just like like you know what we talking about. Like why do I have to like go off of my point just because you trying to poke before I even make a point that might help you? You trying to tear it down to be right about something I'm not even trying to be right about. I'm trying to enlighten.
And then that's when the big words come out.
And I think that this is the importance of having these kind of conversations so that you can see that not every woman has the same perspective. Like I have a more open perspective where I can understand that there are some gray areas. There are some general, you can't make everything black and white. And not every woman is gonna come to the table and say, and have a rebuttal. So I think that there's value in having these open dialogues.
Is this the learning curve that we were talking about earlier?
This could be the learning curve that we're talking about.
Just wanted to make sure.
Yeah. Okay. I think it's evolution. I think that we're all evolving, and the more we can have these kind of conversations and the more we can evolve individually as individuals, we can show up and relate better to each other. When we can relate to ourselves, we can relate better to each other.
Well, Ivory, I want to say thank you for joining us on another show.
Ashe.
Sorry that the show went off the rails in certain segments.
This was a great show.
I love it.
All right.
And this is why we have you back, Ivory, because you all right. You understand
Ashe.
our crazy, but you understand that it's not really that crazy. We're just trying to get our learning curve down with the women because
What
Y'all
does
doing-
Ashe means?
It is so. It's an agreement. It's a replacement for amen.
Okay.
aha.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Sister D. All right. Well, Ivory, because you're coming back always. So in between now, what do you need to tell the people? I always say this. How can people reach you in social media land? Is there a website?
Indeed.
What's your next movie? What's your next project? What do we need to do to support you more?
Thank you so much. You can follow me on Instagram at I am Ivory Shields. I'm launching my podcast in July. I'll be launching in July, so look out for that. It'll be all over my social media. I'm on Facebook. I am Ivory Shields. Next, but I'll probably be back before then in October. Look out for me if y'all are Queen Sugar fans. I'll be in Queen Sugar. I have a few episodes there, so
Okay.
that'll be fun. So yeah, I have to come back when it's closer time to that too, so we can talk about that. But that's it for me.
Well, Ivory, I have no problem telling you. One of my friends, Javon White, is an actor on the hit show Startup.
Okay.
And I missed my moment. But I'm pretty sure you guys need field hands.
Yeah.
You're going to need people on the set of Queen Sugar. So instead of having to go through auditions, hey, I'm pretty sure they're going to need somebody to drive the tractor. They might need a heartthrob. Hey, I will fly that day just to be on scene. I just need one line, and that's all I ask for.
Well, hey, listen, I don't have that kind of clout on Queen Sugar, but hey, I will definitely, if the opportunity presents itself, I'll put your name in the hat.
It's four hats.
For
It's four
sure.
names. It's four names you got to put in that hat. Yeah.
Absolutely.
All for one.
Y'all
No, it
come
is
as
not.
a package.
Yeah. You better
They
know
didn't
it.
ask to be on Queen Sugar. No, he did not.
You already know I can be the stunt double for Buddy. I don't even know why you playing.
Yeah, that is kind of true.
Good, yeah. For Kofi, yeah.
Yeah, it is.
Definitely.
You pretty black.
Yeah, man, listen. Black is beautiful.
It is.
Did you mean pretty black?
He better not ever say that again.
I can't.
Okay, I'm going to close the comment. I'm going to the symbol formerly known as Chris Leo.
Yeah.
Oh man,
And it's purple.
You might want to go to me last because I have a
dissertation.
closing comment because I want to talk about the Beehive.
Man.
They've been in the news for attacking Trick Daddy for actual just an opinion, and they attacked this man. Not only did they attack this man, they called this man everything but a child of God. I've seen it. I've seen them attack this man economically, call and give him bad reviews on his restaurant. I even went see them go as low as to talk about the man's illness. And we all know Trick Daddy suffers from lupus. So I thought that was a low blow. And I thought that was unique for the Beehive, but it's not actually, because they attacked Beyonce's husband when the alleged cheating incident. They attacked her sister with the elevator incident. And the lowest form they did was when they attacked her child and calling that child ugly. So when we talk about so I want to talk about the Beehive and how I understand that this may be how they show love, but that's just too much. Again, I don't think there's much honey in that Beehive. I think there's a lot of vinegar and venom, but that's just my opinion. And I know we can't just give black heterosexual men. We can't just give our opinion. This is Chris Leo, formerly known as Chris Leo.
Chris, that is brilliant because the Beehive is going to be all on your ass tonight.
hey, we gonna go viral. We did.
We are going viral.
That's what they're used to. That's what they good for.
They're the
tearing down
Killer bees.
Heterosexual.
That's what it is.
Black men.
Well, let me tell you something. People in South, it didn't work because people in South Florida don't read reviews. Most of our best restaurants are health risks, and you got to be strapped. So Trick Daddy's restaurant is known to be 1 hour wait. You might see a drive-by. You might see a shootout, but guess what?
They
That's the
going.
rewards that you take when you're dining in the South. So Beehive don't work down here. Super Mario Senior.
Hey man, I want to say thank you everybody for coming out. Thank Ivy gracing us with her presence. And I just got one beautiful. My wife debuted her book last week, and then the saddest thing is we was trying to get it here, but she don't even have her copy yet because they haven't even sent it yet. But I just want to thank everybody because so many people. I posted it, and then she's been overwhelmed with sales, and this was one of the things that I seen her do for the last couple months, and I seen her put her hard work into it, and I know it's a big step for her because she was like she had all this stuff just bottled up in her, and to see her write this book and to see her go through the process of making the outline and doing all this is just amazing, and how it turned out is just like sometimes you lay next to somebody every night and then you walk down the aisle and then you know they're great, but then to see a label of their work, it just really blew me away, and then it took me to another level of just wanting to just be the man that she deserved. You know what I'm saying? Because that is just amazing. She just blows me away. So I just want to say congratulations, Jaleesa Hardy. You are killing it. And if one black girl has magic, I'm happy I'm married to one.
My book come in Thursday.
No, it don't. I ordered mine before you, my brother.
Beautiful.
Don't worry.
Jay, I'm proud of you for buying that book. Hey, how value is
he didn't mean that in a good way.
He's a jackass. Nobody took it away from him anyway. He hung. That's hard. H is for he hung. But it's Monday. We appreciate y'all, putting up with our antics. Hopefully y'all learned something. If I could just leave y'all with one thing, women, I would just like y'all to get it together for us so we know what to call y'all, whether it be woman, whether it be female, whether it be bad bitch, whatever. Come up with it so when we talk to you, we can talk directly to you. We don't want to hear I'm not everybody else, because we don't do that. And then we can get to the order of business. But that part too, But we do want to say share, tag, alike. We appreciate you. See you again next Monday night. What you got from Hart?
Well, I want to say, guys, thank you for everyone that joins us. The Black Super Friends podcast is a movement. We have merchandise. And I want to say this. I want to highlight somebody who has been a supporter of the show, and we watch him take off at the same time, and he is the guru now. So I want to tell everybody to reach out on Facebook, social media, anywhere. If you want to start to sell more products, want to get more exposure, because exposure leads to expansion, look up my guy, Darren Brown from Advantage Business Consulting. We don't do commercials, but my brother right there, he has been a supporter of ours, and I'm all about reciprocity. The brother always reaches out trying to make sure we maximize our brand, our talents, our gift. So make sure, because right now, Facebook and social media is always changing with the algorithms. You're trying to push a book or some shirts. Look out. Go to Advantage Business Consultant and tell Dan Brown that the Horse Towns told him to reach out. Ivory Shields, one more round. Any closing comments for you?
Shay, thank y'all for having me. Always a pleasure to be in conversation with you four kings. Can't wait for us to do it again. Follow me on Instagram at I am Ivory Shields.
Mario, your wife says she's crying. You're going to have a good night tonight, my man.
It's going to be short-lived. He got to go to work.
It was all in my plan.
Beautiful.
Oh, man.
And big shout out to Dre, looking like Suge Light back there.
Yeah.
Looking down on us, brother.
That's a perfect depiction of who Dre is.
That's it.
Absolutely is.
That's it.
That was right on time. So for everyone that joined us, please hit the share button while we deal with the algorithms on social media. My goal for this one is 50,000 views by tomorrow. So hit share or send it in Messenger. We will defeat social media. So check it out from social media land with the amazing Ivory Shields. Later.
Ashe.
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 Ashe.